So it's Wednesday morning, or Wednesday afternoon actually, start of a new video for me for this week. What have we got going on? It's been a busy few days. It's one of those weeks where you go from being, last week we sold quite a few, so then this week got a bit of a lull in the sales, but you've got lots of cars going out, lots of cars coming in, lots of cars to be prepped, advertised, and that sort of thing. It seems to go in waves, where one day one week you'll sell plenty, then it depletes your stock, then the next week it's about getting other things advertised, and then hopefully the following week, next week, sales will pick back up again. So let's have a look what's going on. So the Up is back, and it looks very different to how it did when it arrived. As you'll remember, it had just been keyed down these two doors. Nothing drastic, there was no dents or anything, but that's all been painted and polished. Come back from the body shop, good job as usual. Looks really good. Not too much in the way of orange peely horribleness. Wheels now really clean. Pretty much good to go. Lewis just finishing it off, and then some number plates, and we'll be ready for action. Properly little good 5-door town car, that. CRV sold, and that's been MOT'd after lunch. We've got this in for some, this old bus in for some work. It's got various MOT exempt, but the guy still wants to, so we did a sort of pre-MOT on it. So this needs, it's got quite bad braking balance and a few bits and bobs, niggly bits, but nothing that a week or so won't sort out. I always do the videos at lunchtime because none of the boys are here and they get a bit camera shy, so it's better if I do it at lunchtime. Duke. So this was the one that arrived in part exchange over the weekend against the dark red one, diesel. Because we've got a bit of a queue forming for valeting now, I decided to get this one serviced. So we've serviced this one this morning. We've put 2 new tyres on the front, brand new ones. Serviced MOT, tyres, wiper blade on the back, set of number plates. Good to go. So that one just needs a very good valet now, and then that one will be advertised. This little i10 has just arrived in part exchange against the grey low mileage high spec i10, which is at the end of the last video. So that's just been handed over, and this is the little beauty that has come in part exchange. Red, 5 doors. It's a local car. I don't know too much in the way of damage. There's a scratch there. Obviously not something we're going to ever entertain retailing. So this will be moved on to one of my local bargain traders. Got some lacquer peel on the front there. Tyres, etc. all seem good. Bodywork's not actually too bad. There's a scratch there which may flatten off. Oh. Bit of a dent on the arch there. It is what it is, but it has done a gigantic amount of mileage, I believe, if I can get into it somehow. Talk amongst yourselves just for a moment. It's pretty filthy inside. It's done 158,000 miles. How about that for a little car? And it still sounds little rocket air conditioning model. It's pretty humming in there, but 158,000 miles. There we go. We get all the gems. In all seriousness, probably actually do a job for somebody. It would be a good delivery car driver, that. Very good takeaway delivery car, for sure. Dave came in yesterday doing my smart repairs, so he did the, well, it's just been raining so you can't really see, but he did the corner on this Peugeot. The match is perfect. He did this lower corner down here because this was all scratched as well, so he sorted that out, so that one's good. That one's ready to be valeted. I've advertised that one without the pictures, and he's also done the Auto Jazz as well. Again, the colour match excellent, and this is a hard colour to match, alabaster silver. If you ever get any Hondas, alabaster silver is a nightmare to match on a smart repair. There's about 18 different colour cocktails to get it right. He's done the front corner for me. This side he flatted off and just touched in, so there's just a tiny mark down the bottom there now. And I think he did one around the back as well. Yeah, so there was a nasty one there. So that's all been done. Excellent as usual. And it's just one of those where it saves so much time, because I don't have to go to the body shop, wait a week, and then drop one off, wait a week for that to be done, and then pick it up. So having Dave come to me just for the little bits makes life so much more straightforward. Because that Honda, for example, when we picked the up up, then we would have taken the Peugeot partner over, so that would have taken a week, and then we'd have taken the Jazz over the week after. So before you know it, you've had the Jazz here 3 weeks, it's been paid for, it's just dead money sat there, which you can't invest into something else and you can't sell. So to get Dave to come in, you know, I knew the car was arriving with me on Friday, rang him, yeah, I'll be in Tuesday, bosh. And then you're ready to go. I've advertised the car with no pictures, but it'll be valeted over the next couple of days, and then it's ready for action. And hopefully it'll be sold by the time that it would have even come back from the body shop. So to find a good smart repairer, I think if you're doing decent volumes, is crucial, because they come to you, give them a cup of coffee, let them get on with it. Happy days. Same goes to dent men as well. You know, you don't want to be painting panels for the odd little ding and dent. So to have people like that on your side that like coming to you and happy to do so, perfect. Anyway, so sales is a little bit quiet this week, but like I say, there's loads to be getting prepped, and we're trying to get them out the door. Obviously the ones we sold last week, we've got handovers and part exchanges coming in there and all that sort of thing. So yeah, busy on, but not in the sales way. But like I said, it is very much it does happen in waves. So you will get a week where you might sell 10, and then the next week, because you've got nothing left and you're prepping stuff to come through and be advertised, you might only sell 2. It works out 6 a week. But if someone said to me, oh well, I can guarantee you'll do 6 a week 50 weeks of the year, I'd be delighted. But unfortunately it doesn't work like that. The ideal day, I've always said, is Monday to Friday. Buy one a day, sell one a day, hand one over a day. 5 days a week, that's 5 cars a week, 250 cars a year. That would be the dream. Doesn't quite work like that though in the real world. Anyway, catch up later. Morning everyone. Friday morning. It's a pretty quiet week. I wouldn't quite say it's like desert weed out there, but it's not far away. Inquiries are pretty quiet. We've had plenty of stuff come in, stuff's getting prepped, cars are going through and being advertised. But yeah, pretty quiet. We've got a Toyota Yaris. I'll show you if we spin it around. We'll go outside. We've got this Yaris. Top of the range, XL model. And it's a fantastic looking car actually, 43,000 miles. So this one, I was chatting to a lady yesterday on the phone, had a couple of phone calls. She lives just this side of London, so a good 100 miles away. So she was talking about delivery options, distant sale, 14-day guarantees and all that sort of thing. Now a lot of garages will try and avoid the subject of the whole distant sale regulations, especially if they're not comfortable with it, comfortable with the cars that they're selling. Now we're more than comfortable. During lockdown we sold well over 100 cars that way, and we only had one come back on the 14-day return, so I'm more than happy to sell them like that. I trust our product, and because we do the videos and such detailed pictures, then the customers 9 times out of 10, or more than nearly 10 out of 10, are always happy with how the cars turn up. So I've sent her an email with all her inquiries and questions answered last night, so we'll wait for a response on that, and hopefully we'll get that one done today, which would be nice because it only arrived on Monday, so that would be a good turnaround. The DS, the Chops Garage DS, we had a lady come and look at it last Friday when I was off on my hollybobs. They really liked the car. They'd written off their other car, which was a Citroen as well, DS3 I think. Anyway, they were waiting on insurance payouts and confirmation of payouts and all that sort of thing. That's been rumbling on all week, but the lady has messaged Tony this morning, who she dealt with last week, just to say that they've sorted some finances out and they think they're good to go, and they still want the car. So she said she's got to speak to the finance company later this morning. She's sorting her own finance, not through us. So hopefully there'll be a reservation fee on that one later today as well. So there is still bits and bobs bubbling, they're just not done deals yet. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get a couple away for the week. Like I say, sometimes you get weeks like this and then the next week it'll be busy, but I think it's pretty quiet altogether out there from people I've been speaking to in the trade. A lot of people I know, it's really very quiet. So the Duke is going out Monday. Now the customer requested, and as part of the deal, they were happy to pay for themselves. They wanted some roof bars fitted, so we managed to source some of those at a sensible price, and we fitted those for the customer. So we always try and go that extra step. If there are little bits that the customer wants, then we'll do our very best to sort it out for them. This arrived. I haven't done a video on this one. Super low mileage Golf Match. Now Match is I think it's the ideal specification for a Golf. You've got plenty of kit, but it doesn't look too fancy. It's not over the top. The ride's still good. It's not like a GTI or a GTD where the ride's a bit firm. You've got really nice level of equipment. It's got front and rear parking sensors, DAB radio, 6-speed gearbox, electric heated mirrors, cruise, Bluetooth, all the stuff you'd want. But it's not silly money like a GTI. This is the 1.4 TSI petrol, manual, 12 plate. It's had one owner from new, privately owned, and it's done 21,000 miles. So this is a proper car. Love our Volkswagen stuff anyway. 21,000 miles. It's got 10 service stamps as well. So that's a proper bit of kit. Now I'm fussy. The car's not going to be cheap. I know it's 10 years old, but even still, I've got some wheel caps, I've got some centre caps, sorry, to come to the wheels. The one's missing on this one anyway. And they do have a habit of getting pretty chewed up, so I bought a set of 4, so they'll be arriving. And then we do need to do, that one's actually okay. Wheels are all in great shape. The car's in great shape altogether, really, as you'd expect. That one's not very nice. So I've got a set of 4 coming, and then the only thing we do have to do sort out, I think, we'll see when we've washed it. Lewis has obviously got a bit of a backlog to get through, so he's doing that, but I think it may have had a drop of paint on this near side rear corner before, because it's slightly off colour. It may come up with a polish. If not, we'll get it resprayed. It's not metallic anyway, so it's a very easy job. So it might have just had a clip on that corner at some point. The other side's absolutely fine. It's hard to say. I've looked at it at 100 different lights, maybe I'm being paranoid. But anyway, that's a proper retail car. I think it'd be up at 9995, which obviously isn't cheap for a 10-year-old Golf, but where would you find one with this mileage, provenance, and it's in the right colour as well. So that'll be sorted next week, hopefully. We're slowly getting through them. The Duke is still to be valeted. Like I say, Lewis has got a bit of a backlog, got him to task. The Banger i10 is sold to my local delivery man, Martin. He's having that. Actually, runs really, really nicely. So Martin's having that, and he'll bang it on Facebook or do whatever he wants to do. Now the Peugeot Partner, it's inside, so I'll show you on a later part of the video. But Dave came in and did the paint, as you know, on the front corner. Excellent job. We then noticed afterwards, when the car was moved out of the row and went for a valet, that the runners where the sliding rear doors open, plastic runners, the sort of coating across the top was all flaking off. I thought, oh, bugger, because we've had the paint done. Dave could have done it while he was here if we'd noticed. We hadn't noticed. So Lewis is doing that when he's doing the valet. He's done a really good job. Just finally sanded off the basically where the doors open and the runners. And obviously when the doors are open you can't see them, so it looks fine. But when the doors are closed, it looks a bit unsightly. So he's sanded it off, matte black paint. He's done 3 coats of it. Looks really good. So I always think it's worth. I know again it's a 9-year-old car. And you think, well, how far do you go with these things? But for the sake of an hour and a rattle can, it's massively improved the way the car looks. And I just think it's just those little touches, like the centre caps on that Golf. Again, could have got away with that. Most garages would have tried to. But I think for the sake of 15 quid here and 20 quid there and a bit of time, it's definitely worth making that extra effort. Because at the end of the day, a car is somebody's probably second biggest purchase, unless they go on a lot of holidays, other than a house. And when they're coming to look at a car, a customer will always try and find a way or find a reason not to buy the car, as opposed to finding reasons to buy it. So they'll always turn up trying to pick holes in things. So if you can eliminate the chances of that happening, as in, oh, well, those centre caps are ugly, but if you've replaced them with brand new ones, they look really good. They've probably gone to look at other cars of the same, and it's a common fault on those Golfs and Volkswagens for the centre caps to corrode. They've probably gone to look at other ones perhaps, and they haven't been done. So when they come to you and they have, it's just that extra tick in the box to hopefully convince them to buy the car. Same goes to that Peugeot. Probably could have got away with those runners, but like I say, for the sake of an hour and a tin of paint, get it done. It'll look 10 times better. Then when the customer turns up, they've got one less thing to try and pick holes in. Anyway, that's my views for a man who hasn't sold a car this week so far. But it's Friday, and hopefully we will get a couple done by the end of the week. Just it's that time at the moment. We haven't really seen anything like this for the last couple of years. I think there's a lot of scaremongering going on in the media about the cost of living crisis. Yes, the costs of everything have gone up, but you know, I think it's just holding people back. So especially on the sort of stuff that we sell, I mean, it's not if you're desperate for a car, you've written one off, you've crashed one, then I think the 2-3 grand stuff is probably still selling. But the stuff once you get into our sort of bracket, 7 to 10 to 15 grand, the people that are buying those cars are they're buying them because they want to have a change rather than they need to have a change or they need to find a new car. So that seems to be the way that it's going at the moment. Like I say, we squeaked through April 18, not too bad, but not brilliant. We started May really well, had a good week last week, and it's dipped off massively this week. So we'll see what happens next couple of days. You just got to keep plodding on. We're not doing the job any differently. The cars are just as good as they always have been. We're making just as much effort as we always have done, so I don't think it's us. I think it's just riding this little bit of a lull, and then hopefully things will pick up soon. Anyway, catch up with you all later. banging in here this afternoon. Anyway, this is the these are the runners I was talking about on the Peugeot Partner that Lewis has done. Really good job, to be fair. So that one's just been valeted. 21,000 miles, that's all this one's done. Diesel. And it's got the 5 seats. So it's getting there. Needs a polish, but really nice low mileage example, hard to find. And we have also taken a deposit on the DS this morning. So that was the one I just said about. So she's paid a reservation fee and she sorted the finance out herself. So they've requested all the documents which I've sent to them. So hopefully we'll get paid out on that this afternoon or tomorrow. And then the car's booked in on Tuesday for its MOT and service. I think it might want a couple of tyres. They're a little bit perished, so we'll see how that one goes. And then she'll pick up middle of next week. Also taking a reservation fee on the Yaris. So that one had been bubbling since yesterday. They paid a reservation fee. They're also paying for the car to be delivered as well. I think it's a 200-mile round trip, so £200 for the delivery. That one's going to be MOT'd. Just needs the MOT and the levels checking, and a couple of filters that weren't fitted on the last service. Tyres are all brand new, drives perfectly, so that one should fly through the workshop, and then they'll also take delivery maybe Wednesday or Thursday next week. So after a very quiet week, 2 on a Friday is good, and we haven't finished yet. We have a test drive in the, or an appointment at least booked on the Ignis later this afternoon at 3 o'clock. The black on black Ignis. I think it looks cool. Some people think it looks horrific. I like it. Maybe I'm weird, I don't know. Tell me in the comments. But lady coming to look at that one this afternoon, she's got a Daihatsu Terios. It's part exchange, so we'll take a look at that one when it's here. So yeah, ticking over now for a Friday. Tony had a test drive or a viewing in the Renault Captur, really nice 19 plate Renault Captur diesel that's in our Hereford site. He had a test drive on that yesterday. They've come back to us with an offer today, so negotiations ongoing with that one, but hopefully we can get that one over the line too, and then it becomes a pretty sensible week rather than all the doom and gloom that I thought it might be. So there we go. We'll catch up later once the lady's been in on the Ignis. So the lady has turned up for her appointment on the Suzuki Ignis, the Black Panther Suzuki Ignis as I call it. This is her potential part exchange. I must say the lady has been looking at an awful lot of cars, so I'm not very confident at all, to be honest. But we'll do the job as always, treat everybody exactly the same, because you never know. It could be the customer service that clinches it. So this is the, you don't see many of these anymore. This is a Daihatsu Terios Kiri, which was a limited edition. And I remember this car, funny story actually, I remember this car exactly because she bought it from Bayliss Vauxhall, which is right over there, next door. But we had one in stock at exactly the same time, and I thought it was completely random that two very rare cars, two garages within 50 yards of each other, had exactly the same car at the same time. Ours had done lower mileage. So she went for this one, so it's 2009. I don't know the mileage yet. Let's have a look. Pretty tidy on the outside, I've got to say. Wheels are good. I can see myself in the doors, so that's something. Something to watch out for on these Daihatsus or any of these smaller old 4x4s. Yeah, bodywork's really, really good. Little chippy bit there. Obviously it's had some stickers stuck over this corner, and if you look behind, it's damaged and cracked behind, and there's some filler here. So that's a sneaky little repair, but didn't get past me. You've just got to be careful. They do have a tendency to rot a bit, but this one looks okay. Suspension arms, look alright. Yeah, it looks solid actually. Not too bad at all. I don't think it's done much off-roading. Tyres are all good. Seat's in really good shape. So, she's not the tallest lady, so we're pretty rammed in. Let's have a look how many miles we've done. $105. Not outrageous, is it? Spec-wise, air conditioning, 5-speed box, radio CD, electric windows, electric mirrors. Obviously got the 4-wheel drive. Let's push that and see. Now these inside, so these are like, yeah, so the light comes on. I'm not going to try and see if it works, but the light comes on at least. Electric windows. Now these are based on the, like a slightly different version of the RAV. They use all Toyota bits. So it's Toyota engine, it's Toyota knobs and buttons and dials. So yeah, 105,000. Now believe it or not, now I know we're low mileage specialists, and that's what we do. When a car comes in like this that is clean and tidy, because we're so rural, a little 4x4 like this, yeah, really tidy. A little 4x4 like this is always a sought after car. So it's one of those that could be, if it drives okay, that we'll chuck round the back, advertise it, and then maybe do. Although, as I'm talking to you, I've just noticed it looks as though it's had a patch of welding here. So that probably makes my mind up on that score. It's been done pretty well because I very nearly didn't spot it. This side hasn't been done yet, so I'll go and have a look at the MOT history, see what's what from there. But tidy old car. Let's see whether she likes the Ignis and if we can persuade her to go any further forward. So that one went pretty much as I anticipated. Lady liked how it drove, to be fair. She said she really thought it was, she was pleasantly surprised with how it drove. Likes all the bells and whistles, quite likes the seating position. I offered her a fairly basic trade price on the Terios simply because obviously it's getting a bit scabby underneath from the MOT history, although it turns out a main dealer did it, so obviously they can be a little bit trigger happy when it comes to quoting and that sort of thing. Anyway, so I offered a fairly basic trade price because it's not something that we would carry on with. So she is going to try and sell the car privately, which I really don't blame her, because she said she's got time. So if she's got time to make the effort, then she'll definitely get more money for it privately than what we could offer. So she's going to do that and then toss up whether this is the right car. She was talking about possibly automatic ones as well, but I said there'll be a lot more money and a lot rarer and harder to find, whereas this one is on her doorstep. So we'll see. Don't think she's 100% got an absolute idea of what she wants, which is fair enough. But one of those really. But like I say, you've got to be just as nice and polite to everybody, even if you're not convinced that you're gonna get the sale, because you never know. Anyway, that might well be just it for this week, but if not, you'll see me in a minute. And please remember, if you have enjoyed this video, do click the subscribe button, click the thumbs up, give us a big old thumbs up, and if you click the notification bell, you'll receive a new message every time we post a new car. Have a great weekend. We've rescued the week just about, so we'll see what happens next week. Thanks a lot.